So starting off with the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. They cut a lot of players. They let go a lot of people, but they did bring. Or I'll share some of the notable signings, and that is Mitchell Trubisky, Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel, Deion Dawkins is offensive tackle, and just address some things on I think like the lines on both sides of the ball, but nothing really significant as far as like it's a fucking put them over that hump that they can't get over or whatever. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Buffalo Bills? They cut hella people. So
to be honest, I'd give them like a C minus maybe even, because they lost Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde too, right?
They cut Jordan Poyer.
Jordan Poyer is gone, so that defense that was a pretty good defense for the past few years now just got, in my opinion, way worse. And then they lost Gabe Davis, who's a solid too. He's hot and cold, but he'll get you some yards and some TDs. They got what, Darnell Mooney or Curtis Samuel?
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, so they got Curtis Samuel. He's solid. He's reliable, but other than that, I don't think they did any moves that's gonna put them over the top into that Super Bowl window.
Yeah.
See, you're more generous than me. I give them a D minus.
A D
minus. Like you said, the people they lost and the people they picked up, I don't think the people they picked up are don't offset their losses.
I mean, Gabe Davis and Curtis Samuel, you can argue they're like, they have different skill sets, but like value-wise, I think they're about the same.
Look at Curtis Samuel's past seasons, then look at Gabe Davis.
Yeah, but Gabe Davis had Josh Allen.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel. That is true. Yeah,
Sam Howell.
But I mean, Sam Howell led the league in passing yards for a minute.
Yeah, he did.
Almost until the end, until he got benched. So.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and Mac Hollins, I mean, he's a big receiver, and I think he's kind of underrated from the Falcons, so he kind of like
solid 3.
Yeah, he can fulfill that, but
their defense, I feel like them losing the people on defense is going to be a huge effect, because normally people were kind of scared about that Buffalo D. They knew that Buffalo D was really one that would break up passes.
Yeah, they're physical.
Like, they were really physical. They played you up and close, and now.
But they would also low-key get cooked in the playoffs, and they are kind of older, like Jordan Poyer and them, like the secondary. Yeah. So it's like, maybe it might be like, they're fan favorites, and like we're used to seeing them in Buffalo Bills uniforms, but like maybe it might be a good thing. Right now we think it's like right now we think it's like, all right, bad moves just because they're good players, but they're kind of getting older or whatever. But
I think it might also be because of whenever they've gone into overtime.
Yeah.
They don't lose because of Josh Allen. They lose because their defense gets cooked every single time.
Exactly. I give them a C+. I don't think they did anything significant, but they just lost. They just cut ties with people, so we'll see. All right, moving on to the Miami Dolphins. A team that also didn't really do much. Kind of just kept some of their pieces. They signed Jonnu Smith. I guess that's the most notable signing, the tight end. And then they got Shaq Barrett from the Bucks too. But yeah, I guess Jordan Brooks as well. But what do you guys think about them?
I give them a C.
Holy shit, my bad. And they got Jordan Poyer too. My bad.
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer, Jordan Brooks, Shaq Barrett.
Who did they lose? They lost
that one. The Wilkins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's Wilkins. A big loss to the Raiders.
Loss. Yeah.
That's why I give them a C. I feel like losing Wilkins is a big blow, but at least they did pick up some solid pieces. Even though Shaquille Barrett, he is kind of old.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Jordan Brooks is he's young. He used to be on the Seahawks, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I know his name sounds familiar, but
that's fine. But sure. I feel like they did try to address some needs, and I feel like that's a C. It's not great, but it's not terrible. They're just middle of the pack.
Yeah, I'd give them a C+.
Yeah.
Losing Wilkins is a big blow, but they were able to add some pieces in other areas that's needed. But overall, I feel like they didn't make too many moves, so I think the middle of the pack is where they're at.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you on a C+. They didn't really, to your point, didn't do anything significant. They lost Wilkins. They did address some needs on the defensive side of the ball, but they're kind of older players, but their defense was low-key always getting cooked. So
always, bro.
See, their offense
gets offense they'll be carrying.
The offense either cooks or their defense gets cooked one way.
A-chain breakout season.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. He's RB1 now.
All right. Moving on. New England Patriots. Another team that didn't really do much. Their notable signings, Jacoby Brissett, bringing him back on a 1-year, $8 million deal. Kendrick Bourne, Antonio Gibson, KJ Osborne, re-signing Hunter Henry, and then just addressing things up front. They kept just a lot of their guys and making sure that they're extended or tagged them to ensure that like Kyle Duggar and stuff like that.
They also got rid of Mac Jones.
Also traded Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I honestly I'll give the Patriots a D+.
Yeah.
I mean, they re-signed and they kept their guys, but I don't think they did anything significant to a point where they'll have a better season than last year.
Yeah, I would give them like a D.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to most likely 100% address that QB issue.
Yeah.
In the draft. But what I didn't like, what I saw from them, is they didn't provide this QB that they're potentially going to draft with any new weapons or even like Antonio Gibson's a solid back, and Ramondre, that's a good solid duo, but they're on the receiver side is where they've been lacking the last few years. And they had the cap space to sign someone, but they just couldn't get a deal done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them a D too. Again, you already capitalized on everything. I feel like they didn't really make any big splashes, and again, they should draft a QB. I hope they do. If they don't, they're fucking stupid as hell. But
they might be cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're for sure getting a QB.
Yeah,
they have to.
It's too obvious.
Drake May, you are a New England Patriot.
Yeah, but they kept their players, but nothing crazy. KJ Osborne, YR1, I guess.
See, that's horrible.
Yeah,
bro.
like if that's your best YR right now, I mean,
Juju Smith-Schuster, Kendrick Bourne, and
Juju's still on
No,
there?
Juju's not on there.
Isn't he? Yeah, he's on there. He got like the same deal, I think.
Okay.
Or he has like a 3-year deal or some shit like that.
Damn.
Dude, even him, I feel like he's been the most overrated receiver, bro, in the NFL.
And once he left Pittsburgh, he kind of fucked up the Chiefs. They got him a ring, and he said, "Oh, I can do this." Went to New England, nothing.
Yeah, it just kind of been trending down, unfortunately.
Chase the bag.
Hey, I don't blame him for the bag though.
And the TikToks. All right, for
TikTok bag.
for New York Jets, they signed Tyrod Taylor, Mike Williams, addressed some needs up front with Tyron Smith. They got John Simpson, Morgan Moses. They traded for Hassan Reddick. But yeah, those are their defense is already stacked. Adding Hassan Reddick's kind of crazy.
Beefy, bro.
And then Mike Williams and Tyrod Taylor, just that security on the quarterback position. And Mike Williams is a solid wide receiver.
And Tyron Smith, bro.
To beef up that
when
low
he's
line.
Healthy, he's one of the best tackles.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if y'all remember in the last podcast, I gave the Jets they didn't do shit. Hey, they heard my word somehow and they started making splashes. They were like coming in. I'll upgrade them they get a B, a solid B. They did good. They got a great YR2. Yeah, they got a backup QB now. So if anything happens to Rodgers' old ass, they good. They got Tyron Smith and then the Hassan Reddick trade. Come on, I feel like they ended up doing good.
Yeah,
snatch that man
Snatch
up
my
real
guy.
quick.
Yeah, I'd give him a B. I wanted to give him a B+, but the reason why I give him a B is some of these players are older and injury prone as well. Mm-hmm. Smith, Mike Williams. Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. But on paper, it does look really good partnering Mike Williams with Garrett Wilson. And if Rodgers is healthy and back and 100%, that's going to be a good wide receiver duo. And adding Tyron Smith to protect Aaron Rodgers. That O-line was terrible last year, so anything they could do to beef it up is always a good upgrade.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think, or I'm a little lower, but B- just because of the injury history and then the players being a little bit older. But the Hassan Reddick, I kind of like that. They already have. They lost what's his name?
Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff, yeah. So I think that can kind of
pretty much traded, bro.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, I like the moves, but just kind of risky plays. But they could pay off pretty big.
I feel like Bryce Huff he's young too.
Yeah, he's a good piece for them.
Bryce Huff and a third potential second, bro, for Hassan. That's looking a W, bro.
Yeah, man, low-key fleeced them.
I don't care what they talking about. If I paid the pad for you, would you walk it out? Would you stay 10 toes when you hear that shit blow? When it all goes black and you're moving slow-mo, whoa.